Hey, so I'm back and I wanted to just talk a little bit about immunity building. So I don't know if there's going to be many people on the planet now who have not heard of coronavirus, and obviously it's a thing, and especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, it is virus season. It's still cold, and especially if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're going into winter, so that's often where viruses can be more prevalent. So I just want to talk about like how to build immunity, because if you've got a really strong immune system, then this is going to wash over you in terms of like actually getting sick. So let's start. So I've got about 10, I didn't actually count them, tips for building your immunity. And these are things that you can do super easily, super simply, and most of it with what you've got in the house already. So the first one is like when you wake up, hydrate, drink loads of water. Okay, and drink water throughout the day. Maybe even make it like warmish water if the temperature outside is not too hot. Okay, we need to flush our body of toxins, and we really need to do that first thing in the morning, because we want to encourage our body to go to the bathroom. Okay, and we want to be going to the bathroom, like doing a poo, first thing in the morning, so it really helps get those toxins out the body. So drinking as much water as you reasonably can, and throughout the day, like carry a flask or something around with you so that you're constantly having little sips of water. Okay, the next one, and this might mean you going out and buying something like this, a tongue scraper. You can do it. I think you can buy some simple ones in the supermarket. Now this is a classic sort of Ayurveda tongue scraper. So once I've got up in the morning, and actually before I drink my water, I scrape my tongue. Okay, so what you do is like this: we scrape our tongue from back to front about 10 times. You might kind of do it one side, middle, the next side. Okay, so we just keep doing this about 10 times, and we get off of our tongue toxins. Okay, so it's another way that we can just start to like remove the toxins from our body, but also from our mouth. So a lot of the talk about this virus is that it kind of enters in through like our mouth and nose cavities. So getting one of these and scraping your tongue, it takes about 30 seconds, and it's a really great way to start the day. So another thing, there's another Ayurvedic whiz, is neti potting. Okay, so this is what we call a neti pot, and we fill it with warm, slightly salted water, and we flush our nasal cavity. So every morning I do one full thing of this through one side and then through the other side. And again, this just helps to cleanse our nasal cavities, so it helps to prevent against anything we don't want going up there, like viruses. After I've done that, I oil my nasal cavity. So in here I've just got coconut oil. So it depends where you are in the world as to what oil you will use. If you're in colder climates, you might want to use some sesame oil. So I just squeeze a little bit out onto the palm of my hand. Obviously make sure you've washed your hands, because that's what we need to do now. And I just put it up my nose. Okay, and this helps to protect my nasal cavity against, guess what? Things we don't want going in there, like viruses. So that's a really awesome like morning routine that will really set you up, even if you just do that like for the rest of the day. So my next tip is putting ginger into your diet. So it's a really good idea to consume some ginger, like maybe even eating a little bit of ginger, or making some nice hot tea with fresh ginger about 20-30 minutes before you have your breakfast or your lunch or your dinner. And this helps to really stoke our digestion. Okay, so when our digestion is strong, we are much more geared towards a really strong immune system and health. So if you have a sluggish digestion, we need to start to stoke that, and we can do that through the consumption of ginger. Another great thing to do is to have some turmeric after you've eaten. So turmeric is it's an anti-inflammatory, and it's also a really great thing to have after your meals, because it helps to get the toxins out of your body. So here in Bali we have this wonderful thing called jamu, which is basically a turmeric drink, and it's really the panacea for everything. Like here in Bali, it's like anybody's got anything, it's like have jamu, have have jamu. And jamu often has turmeric in it, often has ginger in it, black pepper, and all sorts of other like immune boosting herbs and spices. So another one that I have a lot of is something that we call ashwagandha. So I have some immune support herbal tablets that include ashwagandha, which is another really powerful Ayurvedic herb that's recommended for your immune system. So they're all things that you could look to add into your sort of daily habits. So another really, really wonderful thing to do is to practice a particular style of practice called Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra it's a guided lying down meditation. Okay, so another aspect of support for our immune system is rest, is feeling really rested. Okay, and if you're not feeling rested, stress and lack of rest are one of the biggest causes of our immune system like failing us. Okay, so we don't need to take these huge actions. We just need to look after ourselves a little bit better. So Yoga Nidra is a beautiful practice if you're feeling that you're very depleted, that you're not feeling very rested. So you can find Yoga Nidra on Insight Timer. I have a couple of Yoga Nidra practices, 1 or 2 Yoga Nidra practices on Insight Timer. It's a free app, so you can download that and just start to get a bit more rest, feel a little bit more nourished. So another beautiful practice is breath work. Okay, breathing is vital. Okay, this is one of the biggest practices that I teach, is really teaching people how to breathe. So just taking some time out, even if it's just a minute or 2 every day, like maybe 3 times a day, just to sit and breathe. So another interesting fact about the breath is that when we breathe in and out through our nostrils, we produce higher amounts of nitric oxide. And nitric oxide in this way, when it's created in the nasal cavity, actually helps to boost our immune system. So just simply 3 1-minute pauses in your day of nostril breathing will help you to be better, to fight viruses, to fight anything really that comes along to challenge your immune system. So another great tip is just to perhaps avoid dairy at this point, especially if you know that you don't have a great relationship with dairy, but dairy causes our lungs to be a little bit stickier. So if you are concerned that you are at risk from catching a virus, this virus or any virus, or if you find often that you do get quite chesty, then just cut down on the dairy for now. Okay, you can add it back in later. And one of the things that I love to do is hot cold baths. So one of my local gyms here has an ice bath, and I do quite frequently these hot cold baths. So I'll spend some time in a hot bath, I'll get out, I'll go into the cold bath for anything up to about 5 or 6 minutes. I'll get out, I'll allow my body to return to its kind of natural temperature by itself in outside of the bath, and then I'll get in the hot bath, spend some time in there, get out and get back in the cold bath again. So this is an amazing booster for your immune system. So if you've got the ability, even if it's going in the ocean or a lake or just having a cold shower, that's really, 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 really good for your immune system. And lastly, movement. Okay, for us to be healthy, we've got to move the body, we've got to have good circulation. So if you're sitting in a really sedentary way most of the day and you're worried that you're going to get sick, I would just start to move your body. So even if it's just doing some basic sun salutations, doing some jumping jacks, just get that blood flowing through your body. And those tips, honestly, if you do those, you'll navigate this seamlessly. Awesome. Anyway, I hope that's been super helpful. I hope there's something that you're able to take away from that. Let me know if some of this stuff you're doing, if none of this stuff you're doing, or if all of it you're doing. I'd love to hear from you. All right, thanks for tuning in.